White Knight Chronicles. This shitstorm crippled onto the PS3 on our shores nearly 2 years after its initial release in Japan. Often hailed as Final Fantasy XII without gambits, White Knight Chronicles has garnered a lot of mixed reviews amongst the American community. But, I'm here to prove that it's less mixed than one would think. First off, let's start with the story. Okay, this is literally the one aspect this game barely manages to excel in. Basically, you play a whiny shit-twat emo haircut pissant named Leonard, who, from what I can tell, acts as a wine delivery boy for some uglier-than-sin Hulk beast. Huh. Final Fantasy XII, anyone? The first goal is to go get some wine for a big celebration the city is throwing for a peace treaty. God damn, this sounds familiar as shit. Anyway, the festival is inevitably fucked up by some clown dudes who are actually an enemy military in disguise, who've devised this master plan to infiltrate and destroy your city, because, well, why not? Leonard jumps in to save the princess because, well, he wants to bang her, and their only escape seems to be in the lower levels of the castle's dungeon, which for no apparent reason houses a giant set of ancient mystical armor that grants its wearer the ability to transform into a Power Ranger Dinozord. Naturally, Leonard somehow manages to acquire this set of armor and use it against the bad guys, only to find out that he's not the only one who can become a Dinozord. So, you set out on a quest to kill all the other Dinozords because they're evil and want to kidnap the princess because, again, well, why not? From this point on, the bullshit escalates into a story that might seem interesting if it wasn't for the bogged-down sense of narrative direction that plagues you through the entire game. It's more or less a hodgepodge setup consisting of, okay, so you need to go to this town, but before you can do that, you need to have the gates unlocked or the bridge dropped or a passport or whatever. In order to get that, you have to go talk to the king or lord or archduke of this town, who themselves send you on a mission across a ridiculously large expanse of desert or forest or wasteland or to do whatever, for whatever reason, in exchange for what you ask.
Wait, I think this...
Now onto this piece of shit excuse for a battle system. Final Fantasy XII without gambits is literally more than an adequate description of this shit plague. Let's start off with the horrible control scheme. One interesting concept of this system is that you can actually pull off combos, which in that sense sets it apart from Final Fantasy XII. But here's the catch. You can't just do a combo. You literally have to bust open your menu and, through this painfully obtuse user interface, chain together key actions you've unlocked based on the weapons you've been using up to this point. Even in this sense, chaining together these moves for these pseudo-combos isn't as satisfying as chaining them together and then having a special move execute at the end of them, which is possible in just about every other RPG involving combined attacks. As if that wasn't bad enough, the battle system is also weighed down by more sluggishly realistic than I give a fuck about movements. Your characters are slow and clunky no matter what armor they're wearing or how many items are filling your inventory space. They're just plain sluggish without reason. Oh yeah, did I mention this battle system is broken as fuck? Check this out, and if you don't believe me, those of you who have this game can try it for yourself. In pure MMO fashion, you are required to walk right up to your opponent's grill to get any attacks to connect. As a matter of fact, if you try to attack but aren't right on your enemy's balls, a little text window informs you, again in pure MMO fashion, that you aren't close enough. Your enemies, however, don't play by these rules, as they can slap your shit around for days, whether they're in your grill or on the other fucking side of the map! This can become a fucking nuisance when you're surrounded by powerful enemies, and when it comes time to retreat, Leonard and friends are hoofing it away while the enemy is miles behind you but is still continuously slapping the shit out of you. What the fuck kind of shit is that? What's the point in partaking in a battle system when there's an immediate internal disadvantage from the fucking start? Oh, and last but not least, the character creation. The fucking character creation. Let me just start off by saying, you can make a fucking serious monster on this shit. You thought Oblivion characters were ugly? Fuck with this character customized screen for a few minutes, you'll reconsider. It uses the same facial system coined by the Atlas game Demon's Souls. Fuck that game. And isn't any more forgiving to you as your character's beautician. Also, this customization is counting on literally every fucking person that plays this game to be a female. There is not a single decent looking hairstyle for males. And if you think there is, normally you can find the same hairstyle more prominently on the female. It's also at this point that this game's PS2-era graphics engine really rears its ugly testicles. I've seen Xbox launch titles that look better than this game. Overall, this game is a shit pile cash-out from a once renowned publisher. Damn, that sounds familiar too. Square Enix, anyone? You're better off picking up a good RPG like Lost Odyssey.